Hi, I'm Kendra with WTMAstrology, and today I am talking about relationship compatibility. I'm really excited to do this because I've been a little bit bored with the aspect series, and I feel like talking about relationship compatibility is fun, and also a lot of people are asking me for compatibility, surface level compatibility analysis at all times. I did want to remind you, if you're watching this video, that, obviously you have all different kinds of planets and all different kinds of signs, and a lot of things go into, the birth chart, a lot of things go into the relationship chart, a lot of things factor into compatibility that have nothing to do with sun sign. So you're going to want to keep this in mind as you're watching this video. I'm just talking about pretty much the way the signs interact with each other, how they might play out in a relationship, if those energies work together, and some common pitfalls that a couple with this, prominent sign, these two prominent signs in their chart might face. So, Aries and Aries. I have to start with Aries and Aries because Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, and I have Moon trine Mercury, and I just like for things to be orderly in that way. So, Aries and Aries. What you might run into with an Aries and Aries couple, some of the possible joys of this relationship. Aries is a very enthusiastic sign. Aries is the child of the zodiac. Aries loves to have fun, loves to play, loves to start new projects and initiate new things. Aries is just full of enthusiasm and passion, just like perpetual child syndrome. I'm an Aries sun myself. It's just, I get swept up and carried away because I'm just always so excited and, want to try something new. So an Aries and Aries couple may have a lot of fun together. There may be a lot of fun within this relationship just because, one starts something and the other one's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's start this. And suddenly they're on an adventure. But the problem here is that no one's really anchoring this dynamic, with two Aries people. It's just kind of like two overgrown children who are just encouraging each other. So if they're encouraging each other to do responsible things, because, even though Aries has that childlike enthusiasm, it's not always going to necessarily be ridiculous. There's no one, as long as it's like a positive and productive thing, that's great. But there's nothing to really stabilize this union, and they're both so independent too, that they might kind of demand a lot from each other while really not wanting to give a lot of themselves. Because Aries is also, the sign that has to do with the self, and they can be pretty self-centered, sometimes even selfish. So what can really happen with two Aries partners is that they're demanding of each other, and they're demanding of each other, and, why don't you do this for me? Why don't you do this for me? But no one's really compromising because they're both so self-focused, and there's no give and take. They're just kind of demanding of each other all the time. And if their goals are going in two very different directions, they'll still be demanding of each other. And this is just kind of the way the toxic dynamic could go. So they could really channel this in a positive way and work on something together and continue the fun. But if their ambitions go in very different directions, they can become resentful because one is not giving the other enough attention. Aries is a funny sign in the sense that they're highly independent, but also very needy. And I'm saying this as an Aries sun, so don't come after me. But Aries is one of those signs that is very independent, but also very needy. And that's why people say they're self-centered, is because what happens is that Aries is very self-focused. And if you infringe on their individuality in any way, that becomes a problem. But it's not it's not so bad for them to infringe on your individuality to get what they want. So they will suddenly demand, they need space, they need to be alone, leave me alone, you're needy. That can be Aries, but then the very next second, why are you paying attention to me? Yeah, it's just very childlike. Aries is the child of the zodiac. You can see it in Aries over and over and over. Very childlike attitudes. So you can see how this could be very difficult with two Aries in a relationship with each other. They're both children and there's no like adult supervision. Another thing that can happen with Aries and Aries relationships is that there's nothing to really ground them. There's no real direction for the relationship. They might have a very clearly defined goal and purpose for the relationship going into it because they're both so enamored with one another and they're both so enthusiastic about the partnership, but they don't have longevity. Cardinal signs in general are going to be great about initiating, but they're not going to be so great about maintaining. So, Aries sort of needs a sign that might be a little more grounding, might be a little bit more practical, and able to kind of carry the enthusiasm of Aries into something that can be more tangible and something that can go the long haul. So again, those cardinals are great at initiating, but not so great at maintaining. You kind of need a balance of someone who's great at initiating and someone who's great at maintaining and stabilizing, which is why Aries and Taurus are can be good together. But Aries and Aries, again, there's ways that this can work. I'm not condemning any astrological partnership because I think that if two people are conscious, any relationship can work. If you're willing to be self-aware, any relationship can work, but in general, Aries and Aries are going to be, they're going to burn hot and fast and burn out quickly, in my opinion. But again, very fun, very passionate, very enthusiastic. I'm sure the sex would be great. I've never been with another Aries, but yeah, I think that's pretty much how Aries and Aries might work together. That is the end of my Aries and Aries compatibility video. I did want to remind you that I offer all kinds of chart readings, including relationship compatibility readings. So that would be something, that would really be something to look at if you are interested in someone else, because that would give you a lot of insight into the actual relationship dynamic, how all of your planets are interacting with one another, not just, their sun sign and your sun sign, their sun sign and your moon sign, whatever. So that would be a lot more telling than sun sign relationship compatibility. Anyway, again, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and have a great day.